What's up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here at Omaha, Nebraska with another top 8 deck profile. What's your name and what'd you play?
Tyler Pieper, and I played Metal Foes.
Alright, let's get into this.
Alright, so we played 3 Gofu. Best card, in my opinion. You just summon it and just do all sorts of crazy stuff. Of course, bog standard. 3 Sealant, 3 Silvered, 3 Gold Driver, 3 Volflame. They're all great vanilla Metal Foes, and they're all super searchable, and they do all sorts of crazy stuff, so that's that. I only played 2 Bismuth. In testing, every time I draw 3, it always seemed to clog. So I found that 2 just seemed to work better with my ratios, and I ended up replacing it with a Summoner's Art instead. I'll get to that in a little bit. 3 Eccentric. It really seems to help speed up the decks. Because oftentimes, since I'm running 2 combination, I draw a combination in this, so I can just pop it and search. Or if I drew Gofu, I could just pop it, just set my combination, immediately pop it, it just sped it up, and it helped out a lot of back row problems. I did run into a couple back row decks today, so it was very helpful. 1 Luster. I almost wanted to cut this, but since the mirror match is such a tough matchup, and the access to Ignister is so critical, it's need to be played, and it makes advantage, so it's alright. It just tends to break. 3 Boombuku, 1 Kieran. Whenever I saw Kieran, I just won. A lot of times, like my PK Fire matchup, I was able to get Kieran first turn every time, and it was just shutting down. It was really, really helpful with that. 2 Painful Decisions. I never wanted to draw multiple of this in my hand, so I only played 2. I would have loved to play 3 since Graveyard setup is so critical, especially with Thrillium running around, but 2 seemed to work best for me. 1 Summoner's Art. So this took the place of the 1 Rare Metal Foes Bismuth. I really liked it since it just functioned as another scale 8. It got me to my Volflames. Although a couple times with Desires, I found it didn't have a target, so that was an issue. But otherwise, I really liked it a lot better. 2 Pot of Desires. I was running 3 at one point, but every time, one point during testing, I drew 2 off 1 Desires, and I said, you know, enough is enough. I'm just gonna play 2, and it worked out really well today. I resolved it multiple times, and every time I did, it worked out really well. 1 Upstart, because I played 39 cards. Triple MST. This also sped up. It works as just both an engine card because you can pop your combination to search, and just outing a lot of back row. Like I said, I ran into a couple decks that ran back row, like Dark Magician and PK Fire, and just in the mirror match, being able to pop their own scales and things like that really worked out in my advantage. For the fusions, played 2 full Metal Foes fusion and 1 regular Metal Foes fusion. The Metal Foes fusion, constantly cycling through that. Sometimes I don't even shuffle back its own effect. I'm Thrillium it back. The full Metal Foes fusion, a lot on my ideal turn, I'll be setting 2 of these, so 2 is necessary.
Sign on that, please.
And honestly, the 5th target
is
essential in this deck. Because you pop your stuff and search so much, sometimes you'll get a little stuck and you'll need a target to pop.
Did you win?
To search for.
He won? Third.
2 combination. I was only playing this at 1 at one point, but the second combination did come up, and I found I liked having 1 engraved and being able to set 1 on field. So, and just being able to constantly search your guys and having 1 set and reusing it later was essential. And 1 Emptiness for the 40th card. 1 begins when I saw it. I flipped it. I lost a couple of times. Some of my opponents had it, but whenever I flipped it, I just won. So
That win button.
it was ridiculous. For the extra deck, for the Z's, we play 1 Totem Bird. I made this a lot more than I expected to today, just overlaying Bambukus to make it, and it shut down decks. I played against Blue Eyes at one point, and I negated the one that searches the 2 dragons. You pitch a card and search 2/3 as attack dragons, and that just shut him down right there, going -2. This should have been a break sword, but it actually worked out a couple times. I was able to pop back row, didn't have to worry about having resources on board to pop stuff. So in a way, it was nice, and the 2800 booty on it really, really paid off. The last Xyz, Durandal. So this was originally I was playing the Zulkan engine, and oftentimes when I would make it, it just didn't even. It was too much of a resource input to make it. This was to take the place of it. I only summoned it once, and it did work once. I was able to change a Kieran effect to my own combination, which was really great. But otherwise, I only summoned it once. I didn't like it. It was just an extra slot. That's Xyz. Played 1 Black Rose. This won me a couple games. So when people would make these huge boards against me, So I would just summon Gofu, and they'd have say okay, and then I would just find a way to get to my summon stealing, make black rose, and I'd either have to force them to negate it, or I just wipe their board, and that paid off multiple times today. Gnister, it's really helpful in the mirror match. Anything pendulum, you shuffle it back, not targeting removal. It's amazing. Omega was for. I was really worried about getting Cosmic Cyclone and losing my spells and traps, especially my fusion, so he was there to get them back, and being able to, if you see double Gofu and summon, get him on the field, banish him, and then summon another Gofu was really good, so that worked out well. Void Ogre, he was good one game, but the other game, my opponent was just able to play around and out him. He's great in certain situations, but if they stays for a turn, you're going to win. It just boils down to that. Vermilion Dragon Mech. Summoned this once, worked out really well when I did summon it, but it just didn't come up. I just didn't have the level 4 and Gofu in hand at the times. For the fusions, played 2 Alkeys. This did come up. It never came up except in the mirror match. I just went through my resources so fast, and he kept outing with Thrilliums that you have to play 2 just to have it. And especially with setting 2 Full Metal Explosive fusions, you just fuse into another one from that one. It just worked out that way. One Adamante, never summoned it except to make the Durandal. Never used the material for it. It was alright, I guess. I'd probably cut it looking forward with the Durandal. 3 Mithrilium. Best card in the deck. This should have been the secret rare, not Full Metal Alchemist. It's just recycling resources. I did go through all 3. That did come up. So I ended up going through all 3 just because repeatedly getting Fog Blade. But I like it. Amazing being able to bounce and just recycle cards. And then for the last card in the extra, we play 1 Ori Hulk. I was able to win a game against Metal Foes. The guy left his Gofu tokens up. I summoned this and another Metal Foe and attacked he did 5,600 piercing damage, and it just killed him in 1 turn. So he was very good for that. Now for the side, 2 Max C. This pretty much went in the default if I knew I was gonna go second. Paid off a couple times. Other time I never dead drew it, so that was all right. 2 Jinzo. This was for mainly the Paleo matchup. I didn't see the Paleo matchup today. I did side it against PK Fire, and that worked out really well when I did summon it. He just scooped after he saw it, so that was great. 2 Sloth. Sided this in the mirror match. I was able to pendulum summon this first turn. He had to out it before he could even fusion summon him. By that time, he just didn't have any resources to do it. Worked out well. I just pendulum summoned it out next turn. Kept him locked. Worked out great. Definitely, I'd probably bump this to 3.
Ooh.
Now, I'll get to the spicy tech in a little bit. Alright, 2 Gamma Seals. For tributing over stuff. I sided it in, but I never saw it. Didn't come up. It's alright. I picked the water over, so I could out the water barrier statue that the Paleozoic seemed to play a lot more over Humongous. That was the only real reason I played him. Ghost Ogres. Sided this in the mirror a couple times if I knew I was going second. Worked out. I was able to pop a scale, slowed him down, took him off guard. It was great for that. Otherwise, didn't really come up. Now for the 1 spicy tech, played 1 Gradle Alligator of all things.
Ooh.
And it did come up. So my opponent summoned Vanity's Fiend on me. So I couldn't special summon. So what I did was I summoned this, activated the scale, popped it, and he had, I forget what monster it was, but it was a lot bigger than the Vanities, so I just took it and just beat him over it and just killed him for game next turn. Worked out really well. I'd probably play 2 or 3 of this because it just took him off guard. Great. For the spells on the side, 2 system downs. Didn't see ABCs all day. It was there for it. I'm really confident in the matchup with them, but it was there just in case. And lastly, 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Best card for the mirror match, being able to banish their fusion or the Metaphors combination. Being Cosmic Cyclone lost me a game, and being Cosmic Cyclone a guy won me a game. So I think it's definitely a decider. I'd play 3 if I had a 3rd, definitely. So.
All right, man. Any shouts you want to give?
I definitely like to shout out to all the players who helped me, Dan, Scott, Steven, all of those guys. They really helped me play test and helped teach me and lend me cards. It was great. And shout outs to everyone back home in Illinois. I really appreciate all your support. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks for the profile and congrats.